This week, congressional committees voted on the bill holding nearly all of President Trump's legislative priorities, including the extension of his 2017 tax cuts. The House Budget Committee failed to advance the bill with a 16-21 vote. 5 Republicans joined all Democrats in opposition, citing concerns over spending cuts and the bill's impact on the national debt. The real hard deadline for Hill Republicans is August, which is when Treasury expects the U.S. to hit its debt limit. The Trump administration wants Congress to act on that by mid-July. Cabinet secretaries returned to Capitol Hill for more budget hearings, headlined by HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in the Senate Health, Education, Labor and Pensions Committee and House Appropriations Committee on Wednesday. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem at House Homeland Security on Wednesday. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy in House Appropriations Wednesday and Senate Appropriations Thursday. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin in Senate Appropriations Wednesday and House Appropriations Thursday. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRemer in House Appropriations Thursday. Veterans Affairs Secretary Doug Collins in House Appropriations Thursday. The House passed several pro-law enforcement bills during National Police Week, including H.R. 2240, aimed at improving officer safety. The House also considered 18 measures, including authorization of community efforts to reclaim abandoned coal mines and prohibit healthcare providers from billing patients for care authorized by the Indian Health Service. Meanwhile, the Senate confirmed Trump administration nominees including Reed Rubenstein as legal advisor to the Department of State, Troy Mink as Secretary of the Air Force, James Danley as Deputy Secretary of Energy, Catherine McGregor as Deputy Secretary of the Interior, and Michael Reigas as Deputy Secretary of State for Management and Resources. Budget Reconciliation Tax Package. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. FCA International, along with over 90 trade associations, expressed support for a comprehensive tax package considered by the House Ways and Means Committee. This legislation, though not perfect, builds on the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 by making permanent and expanding key provisions crucial to America's pass-through community. Per our letter, this legislation would provide certainty to the more than 95% of all American businesses structured as S-corporations, partnerships, and sole proprietorships. These pass-through businesses employ 62% of the private sector workforce and form the economic backbone of virtually every community nationwide. Key provisions for the Main Street community include increasing the Section 199A deduction to 23% while making it permanent. This provision recognizes the importance of parity in the tax code by reducing marginal tax rates for the 26 million businesses that rely on the 199A deduction. Coupled with a permanent 37% top rate, the legislation would lower the top rate paid by pass-throughs and bring it closer to parity with the 21% corporate rate. Another key feature is the commitment to reducing the estate tax's impact. Main Street also strongly supports provisions to enhance and make permanent the estate tax exemption. Reducing the estate taxes while eliminating the uncertainty surrounding its application will help preserve countless Main Street businesses, sustain jobs, and ensure these enterprises can remain family-owned for generations to come. Numerous complicated provisions are included, several of which are targeted directly at small and closely held businesses. Certain provisions should be improved. The limitation on SALT deductions for certain pass-through entities is needlessly broad and complex, while tightening and extending the cap on excess losses would worsen a policy that should never have been enacted in the first place. FCA and its allies will continue to work with the House and Senate to address these concerns. On the whole, this legislation represents a significant step forward, particularly compared to the existential threat facing the Main Street business community if Congress fails to act. There remain major hurdles to overcome before it becomes law, but there is plenty of reason for pass-throughs to be optimistic about this bill. It is a good starting point.